traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1297th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar, and that would be me, Oscar Carboni. Good evening, traders. This video is coming to you on a Wednesday night for trading Thursday. That is March 19th, 2015. This is the 1297th installment of these educational videos. These videos are geared to help teach you the art of technical analysis and to show you how to use that going forward in trading the next day or the next few days. Traders, I've been doing this since I'm 18 years old. I've been doing this for 33 years now, and I am very, very, very good at reading charts, and I'm going to show you just how good I am in this video. In fact, there's a lot of people who make a lot of claims out there, and traders, I've worked so hard at this craft, at being good at calling analysis and calling charts. Yes, we have losing trades from time to time, but I am here to claim that I am the best you have ever seen at calling charts and calling moves off those charts. The best you have ever seen. I am better than you. I am better than anyone you ever knew. I am better than anyone I ever knew at calling these moves. And I'm going to show you why. I'm not just trying to pat myself on the back, because I remove myself from the analysis when I do it. And then when it works out the next day or the next week or the next month, I scratch my head and say, is that possible? Was that possible? Did I actually do that? And I'm as surprised today when I can get a trade right from calling it off of a chart as I was when I was 18 years old and learned this craft. I'm still surprised today when I can get it right. However, I can get it right better than anyone I have ever met in this business, and I'm going to show you some charts that will absolutely prove that to you during this chart segment. Traders, now that I said that, we know futures trading is extremely risky, and when trades do lose, you can lose all the money you ever dreamed of having. Yes, the OMNI's fantastic. Yes, it's the best thing I've ever seen. That doesn't mean you will win. Trading is different than calling markets, right? Those are two different things. I could give you all the best information in the world. That doesn't mean you will win with it. But I can call these markets like you've never seen. So know that these markets are risky. Let's get moving forward. Now, I'm not just trying to be full of myself, traders. I kid you not. You'll find out for yourselves. No one can do this like Oscar. All right, so Aunt Janet and chart masterpiece equals hold number 10. How about a round of applause for that? That was what I gave you. I stayed steadfast 6-7 videos in a row, 6-7 trading days. I said I am not taking my eye off the ball. We are going to go up. The chart masterpiece points to it. I even said this to you in last night's video. Not only are we going up, but I said to you that a chart is nothing more than a visual look at all the fundamental news that comes out and traders' reaction to such, and that tells me we're going higher after Aunt Janet speaks. What did we do today? We went much higher after Aunt Janet spoke. All right, so analysis works out well, and video after video. I put up with the lunatics and the talking and the blah, blah, blah. And Oscar, don't you see the top? The top's in, Oscar. Haven't you seen it? Oscar, you're losing your touch. Oscar, 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 the top is in. You guys know nothing about reading charts. This is what happened. We went up, just like I told you we would. Indices are off to the races. Yes, we could turn around and crack tomorrow, but the likelihood is we now go up and hit the OMNI target of 2130, which we were looking for by the end of 2015, if you remember. By the end of 2014, if you remember. That's what we were looking for. I think we're going to get there now after this chart masterpiece and Aunt Janet gave us the blast off. That's the likely target, the 2130 area. We should get somewhere up there, not too long of a time in ESM. Then, gold. Our gold trade, we've been selling the gold and selling the gold and selling the gold, and we did it again on Wednesday, and it went down first, and we got out with a profit. Then we sold the gold the second time, and it stopped us out, and the gold trade didn't work. That one stopped us out, but these went really, really well so far. Then there's this, traders. Many, many of you have asked me several times, Oscar, since you've been on television talking about crude, and you've showed us some crude charts, and you made that insane projection or prediction, but it was a projection, that crude would drop from 103 down to the 40s. I did that on television, national, international television, on the Melissa Francis show. I spoke about crude oil, got on television, told her we would drop from 103 to the 40s, and she threw me off the TV set. You guys remember that. Then the market dropped and got near 40 in the time frame I told her it would, and she invited me back on TV to discuss how I made that call. That is one of the things I want to tell you about. People are writing to me for weeks now, Oscar, what do you think about crude? In this chart segment, I will show you a crude chart. I will show you what now, and I will show you where it should go, and you will see why. I am the best you've ever seen at this. Wait till you see how shocked you're going to be, because, boy, I was too. Wait till you see this chart. When I printed it, I scratched my head and went, what? Since I've been on TV, I mean, I knew it happened, but I haven't bothered looking at it in chart form. Wait till you see what I have to show you. It's just stupid, but anyway, you're going to like it. So, in the chart segment, we are looking at green OMNI for the emini S&P, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the transportation average, and some stocks. We're going to trade stocks on Thursday, traders. Now that we got the bull back, I will give you a stock rec. Come to livewithoscar.com and make sure you see what my stock recommendations are for trading on Thursday. Speaking of stocks, there's a precious metal recall. Has anyone heard about the precious metals recall in Kraft? KRFT, from what I understand, there are shards of metal in their macaroni and cheese, and they're recalling tons of it. I don't know if I'd be long KRFT tomorrow. Ouch on that one, right? Oops, shards of metal. So watch out for your Kraft. All right, traders. So we expect the upside for trading on the 19th, Thursday. I want to show you why the indices look like they're off to the races. I want to show you why the gold trade, even though it did get stopped, we're not going back up too far yet. And I want to show you crude oil. You've been asking about crude. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Traders, Aunt Janet Yellen and chart masterpiece will equal hold number 10. That's how we started this chart segment a good 6 days ago. 6 days ago, we were right here. I've been showing you this night after night after night, calling it chart masterpiece. Dow Jones Transportation Average Daily Bar. My contention is every time we dip down into the OTAPA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, this average, every time we dip into it, it creates a new high. Dip, new high, dip, new high, dip, new high. That's what we expect to be here, a dip, new high, right? So here's where we were when I started to show you this chart, and this is what happened. Look at that again, traders. Here's where we were, and this is what happened. I mean, rock and roll. Did that not work out so far? Now we're expecting the rally up to new highs, but that's not all. Chart masterpiece number 2, E-mini S&P. I've showed this to you in the last 7 nights, the last 3 or 4 videos. And I said, traders, what will happen? Will we hold, question mark, number 10, or will it break? And I said it will absolutely unequivocally hold, and here's why. We should always expect it to hold until it stops. It worked every single time, and I kept saying the lunatics keep calling the top. The lunatics are wrong. They will be wrong tomorrow. In last night's video, yes, they were wrong, just like I predicted, because here's where we were when this began, and this is what happened. Traders, again, where we were, and this is what happened all the way to here. I mean, bravo. Is that fantastic? Now, bingo. We move the 10 over to here, and we make this really 11, because you could call it 10, but that held too, even though we mark it as a loss. You've got like 11 holds so far, and in each one of those holds, the lunatics have come out and called the top. I told you it wasn't coming. I told you we'd go higher. Bingo. Learn how to do analysis at the Omni Trading Academy. Let's move forward. Another chart I've been showing you in the last few videos for the last 6 nights. And I said, no matter what they're telling you out there, do not listen to them, because I'm telling you a dip into OTAPA is usually short-lived. And I said, look, short-lived, 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 short-lived. Here we are now. What do you think is going to happen? And this is where we were. And this is what happened. I mean, holy cow. What else can you ask for? Are you telling me I'm not good at this, kids? Let's continue moving forward. Then I showed you this in about 4 videos ago, and I said, here's your weekly NASDAQ. That's a big bull flag, and we're going to break out of the bull flag. And what did we do? Out of the bull flag we have now broken out of, and we look like we're going to go much higher in your NASDAQ. Fantastic analysis, working out really, really well, the chart analysis and the market movement for the last few weeks, with the exception of a few rocky days, Friday and Monday. Next, the gold trade. Traders, I've been showing you this chart for a long time, and this is where we got short yesterday. It went down, and we were able to cover. Then we went short again, and it went back up, and we got stopped out. So no real harm done. We made some, we lost some, and that was the end of the gold trade for now. We still expect this to happen. Maybe a little bit of a, pull back. The dollar index is starting to go nuts. Dollar index moved more. Let me say this again. Dollar index moved more today than I can say I've ever seen it move in one day in my whole 33 years. I cannot remember the DX moving as much as I've seen it move today, and it moved down a lot of it, which, we're lucky to see gold didn't really blast off with such downward pressure on dollar index, but the gold overall, we are still quite bearish, even if it rallies a little. Traders, now I'd like to show you something. I talked about crude oil, I talked about the charts that I wanted to show you, and the fact that I did a little interview on television with Melissa Francis to show her where crude oil might go. If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to show you this little chart very quickly, and then I'm going to pause. Here's the crude. I want to show you a small clip. Indulge me for just a couple of seconds, and then we will come back and I will show you what's going on with the crude oil. Traders, please watch this quick clip.
All right, Oscar, you will see when your next prediction, if it comes true, where do you think we're going to be at the end of this year? Let me get you one more prediction on the record. By the end of this year, end of 2015, what do you think?
Well, here's what I'm looking for is staying between 30 and 55 for the next year or so.
Okay. All right, we're gonna keep that on record. My hat is off to you, Oscar. Thank you for coming on. Good stuff.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so there I was. I called during the beginning of that interview. If you watch the whole clip, which, by the way, just click the link and you can go see that entire interview. But the little piece I just showed you before that in that same interview, I told her we were at 103, and I said, Melissa, we are going to crack by the year 2015 down into the 40s, and she threw me off the show. She thought I was crazy. So this is what it looks like on a weekly. But let me show you something, because during that same second interview when she called me back on after being right, Melissa Francis put me to the ropes, basically. She put me to the screws and said, what do you think will happen in crude oil next? And I had a projection for her. You just heard the projection. Now let me show you the chart. I told her I expect crude to go from the date of the show, here's where I was, up to 55 and head down to 30. And it should hover between 55 and 30 for the rest of the year. And you heard me tell her that just before your eyes on television, right? Watch this. Here's where we were the day I was on TV, and this is what happened since. Here's where we were when I was on TV. It went right to 55, started to break, and it's on its way to 30. I mean, really? Nobody is as good as Uncle Oscar at calling these moves off these charts. You can compare that to anyone else's moves. Nobody can tell you this. That is truly amazing, traders. That's where it was when I was on the show, and this is what happened since. Bravo for technical analysis, and viva la OMNI. So, traders, you've seen the charts, and there is my technical argument for why we are off to the races. We should go higher. Why the indices are absolutely looking great. You've seen those charts in crude, and now, traders, of course, to be honest, there is no best in the world at analysis, right? No one's really got that title. So I'm kidding around with you guys, but hey, I'm pretty crafty at this, aren't I? I'm pretty good compared to some of you guys out there. But yes, nobody's the best in the world, but hopefully I rattled little feathers. Hopefully you'll start writing all crazy stuff to me over this. But again, I know there is no best in the world, but man, I'm pretty handy at this. We don't win all the time. But what I just put on this board, wow, I'm thrilled to death right now just looking at it. I know you must be. That was pretty good analysis. All right, on with the show. The other thing I do know is this. Head down, nose to the grindstone, on to the next trade. You are only as good as your last trade in this business. Those were all great calls. Fantastic. You know what? It's meaningless going forward. What we need to happen going forward is we need this to work out. We need these things to work out. We need all the stuff I just told you on the board to happen again tomorrow, because all the crap we did yesterday and the months before it is meaningless. Traders, if you like the analysis you're seeing in these videos, if you'd like to learn the mentality behind this game and the technical analysis behind calling these moves, come on down to livewithoscar.com, click the OmniCamp banner, fill out your OmniCamp application, and I'll call you personally to qualify you for a couple of open seats I have left. OmniCamp, June 5, 6, 7th, and 8th. It's a weekend. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Again, that's June 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. OmniCamp, live here in Las Vegas. There's a couple of seats that are still unclaimed. If you think you'd like to come out to Vegas and learn this craft, come to livewithoscar.com, click the OmniCamp banner as I've said, and I will qualify you on the telephone and see if you will take one of those seats. Traders, you know what? Bravo for technical analysis. My goodness, I am the messenger boy. I am doing nothing more than just pulling analysis off the charts and repeating it to you. You can do exactly what I do. I'm nothing special. The charts are special. I can read them pretty well. I tell them to you. And that's all this gig is. Come on down to livewithoscar.com and I'll teach that to you. All right, traders, let me get out of here. Remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll, traders. I'll see you all at livewithoscar.com.
Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.